Five on Your Sideline is sponsored by Side and Stricker Nobi John Deere.
Welcome into Five on Your Sideline. I'm Corey Miller, and we've got an absolutely packed show tonight. Of course, there's the best local hoops highlights around, but we'll also sit down with new college football Hall of Famer Jeremy Maclin and get excited about the two new teams getting ready to kick off in town. But as always, it's highlights first, so let's get to it. We're going to start off with the big one. Webster Groves and Kirkwood. There's Coach Maclin. More from him coming up in just a bit. The crowd was rocking at the Wood tonight, and they loved that Evan Simon triple from deep right there. They're going nuts. Big rivalry game. They also love this awesome drive and finish from Javaris Moy. That is a tough one. Pioneers rocking. Statesman wouldn't go away. This is C.J. Lang. He gets a nice finish inside, but it's the home team, Kirkwood, who wins the big rivalry matchup 52-42. The Pioneers are now 12-0 on the season. Wow. From one historic STL rivalry to another, Melville versus Oakville, and it's the girls' turn. First is Jessica Castaldi hitting the corner three for Melville. Then check this play out. Oakville's Riley Sarhage picks off the pass, goes the other way, gets the and one finish. The crowd is loving it. They love the final score too. Oakville wins 46-42. Let's go to Vashon. The Wolverines hosting McClure North, and Vashon has been all over the map lately, playing some of the top teams in the country, but they're back home tonight. McClure gets the first highlight. Rashad Burns, he drills a three from the corner, but then it's Vashon's turn. Kennard Davis Jr., he gets a three of his own. He's an SIU commit. Later on, just a picture-perfect fast break from Vashon. Cameron Stovall, he's the one who gets to finish it off, and the Wolverines finish off McClure North 60-45. SLU on the road at rival Vianney, and this is going to be Vianney's Luke Walsh first. He's going to hit a really nice spin move and get the finish. One-handed finish at the rim. That's good for 2 points. Later on, the Junior Bills have the ball. They find Charlie Isa McCall in the corner, and he knocks it home for three. SLU gets a tough 71-69 win over Vianney. This week, we turn the spotlight to the Metro East. In the Southwestern Conference, it's always a dogfight, and often it's a new team on top every single year. This year, the Belleville East Lancers believe it should be them. The 15-3 Lancers face off on a nightly basis with the heavyweights in the Metro East like O'Fallon, Collinsville, East St. Louis, and others. But with a senior-laden group led by SIU commit Jordan Pickett, East is seeing 2023 as their year. And they think the basketball being played in their Southwestern Conference should take the claim as the best in the state.
I mean, for example, like Hillcrest up in Chicago has lost 2 games, and it's to us and East St. Louis from the same conference. I mean, it's going to be a dogfight every year.
I think it's almost better in Chicago. I think it's very underrated and slept on because, we have the St. Louis area too. And, just going back and forth with those guys, I think we're one of the best in the state, and it's very slept on.
We had a good group of kids, hard workers, not just good basketball players, but we knew we could be special this year.
I think we can accomplish a lot. We can go really far in the state playoffs, and we can win. We can win it all.
All right, let's see how those Lancers did tonight. On the road in a tough environment in Collinsville. Check this out. This is a football pass, and it's East Antoine Wilson who gets to finish it off. We saw those a couple months ago on the football field. On the other end, the K-Hawks, they're going to get 3 from Jamori Weisinger. They can hit it from outside. This was a battle like most Southwestern Conference games are, but Belleville East toughed it out like they did that basket you're seeing right there. Lancers win 54-46. They're now 16-3 on the year. In the history of St. Louis high school football, there may have never been another more electrifying player than Kirkwood's Jeremy Maclin. Maclin took that talent to Mizzou, then to the NFL, and eventually back to Kirkwood as head coach. Now he's a college football Hall of Famer. I chatted with J-Mac earlier this week. Jeremy Maclin has been a highlight machine since he was still rocking the big pads at Kirkwood High School.
That's back, I feel like back in the day, everybody had big pads on, man.
But now, all the highlights the Kirkwood star turned head coach racked up in college at Mizzou have turned him into a Hall of Famer.
This is, validation. This is, people recognizing you for what you're able to achieve and the things you were able to do on the football field. And it's also, for me, it kind of also recognizes the team you're on as well.
Speaking of that team, Maclin's 2 years on the field produced a 22-6 record, and arguably the most exciting 2-year stretch in Mizzou football history.
I feel like it helped put Mizzou, on the map, on nationally, the friendly competition that we had amongst ourselves with that receiving room, with Martin Rucker, Chase Kaufman, Will Franklin, Tommy Saunders, Daenerys, like we pushed each other each and every day, man, and it was a friendly competition, but those guys don't realize how much better they made me as a player and as a person.
In just 2 years, Macklin racked up more than 2,300 receiving yards and 22 touchdowns, to go along with 5 more returning touchdowns as a Tiger. Hall of Fame worthy indeed. After a career in the NFL, Macklin has found his place back home and sees a lot of his old coach in his own coaching style.
I took the basis of the foundation of my program that I tried to build here, that I'm building here currently, mimics Coach Pinkles to a T. He's a player coach, but he understands that, hey, when it's time to go, it's time to go. It's based off discipline. It's doing things the right way, how they're supposed to be done.
And while the Hall of Fame spotlight may be on Macklin, he still credits all the people who have helped him along the way.
This is the one time, you talk about, what you did individually, but, I always go back to, just the people that I had around me, man. At the end of the day, people make the place.
Here's a little preview of a story I'm working on. Remember this moment? CBC's Cameron Babb suffered 4 ACL injuries at Ohio State, but in his final home game this past season, he got on the field and scored a touchdown. It's a remarkable story of perseverance that Babb hopes can inspire others.
I just wanted to as well, inspire, young kids, whoever may be, that may have an injury right now or maybe going through something and they feel like they want to quit or want to give up. I wanted to let them know, man, if I could do it, especially, if you have Jesus with you, if you're a follower of Christ, that, you can do anything through him.
Soon, the St. Louis sports scene will have 2 new shows in town. We're checking in with City SC and the Battlehawks as their debuts continue to inch closer. See you after the break. Think about this. In just a few weeks, we'll have the Blues playoff push, Cardinal spring training, college hoops, City SC's inaugural season, and the return of the Battlehawks. It's going to be quite the sports spring in St. Louis, and our 2 new teams plan on arriving with a bang. City SC kicked off their training camp this week out at their state-of-the-art facility downtown, and after decades of dreaming, St. Louis is getting closer and closer to that MLS home debut in early March. It turns out the coaches are just as excited as the fans and think that gradually building this dream over the past few years could pay off come match time.
I was tired of being in the office the whole off season, and for sure we've accomplished so much as a group and as an organization, and then the super draft and the expansion draft. So all of these things coming together and the final pieces of the puzzles, all of a sudden now we have the picture, right? Now we just have to go and paint it. Some guys have been here for 6-7 months already, right? We've got 12 guys up from the next pro group. We had 7 Europeans here early on in the year. So it's so much easier to onboard now the rest of the group because it's common messaging. It's not just the coach now, it's the staff, now it's the players now driving this from within.
The Battlehawks hit the field again in just 6 days. Oh my gosh, it's almost here. They're currently training in Arlington, but the coaching staff made a trip to St. Louis this week, and head coach Anthony Becht can't wait for STL to see the team they embraced so much in the league's last stint back in 2020.
This is the #1 fan base in all of the XFL. It was in 2.0 version, and it's going to be again in 2023. We get a couple weeks into the season before we get to come home and see this stadium really rock. And it's my job to go on the road for the first 3 weeks, put a team together, win some football games, so there's something to get excited about, right? There's a little pressure there, but that's great for us, and we want that. So, and there's a lot of great players out there that honestly just need a chance. We have a lot of different ranges of players, and we're excited what we have. We watch guys like, man, he looks good in shorts, does everything you want. They're smart, they're picking up everything. Now it's just about going out there, trying to feature them and give them the confidence to let them know, like, listen, we can get you to where you want to be if you buy into what we're selling.
Coming up, we head to one of the coolest sports nights you could think of, the Blues' first ever Hall of Fame induction. We'll be right back. In the 50-plus year history of the St. Louis Blues, some of the greatest figures in hockey history have called our town home. Tonight, some of the biggest of those names were celebrated. The Blues inducted their first Hall of Fame class tonight, complete with some snazzy-looking blue jackets you're going to see in just a second. Red Berenson, Scotty Bowman, Glenn Hall, and Bernie Federko joined the players with their numbers already retired in the first class. Bernie, of course, has his number retired too. And it was a night to reflect on the best of Blues history.
Without these guys that started this in '67 and moving forward, there is no, Brett Hull or Al McInnes or Chris Pronger. It's these are the people that we should be celebrating, and I'm proud to be here to do it.
Let's do some more hoops. Brad Underwood in Illinois welcomed in Michigan State tonight. The man with the best name in college basketball, Dane Danger, gets the big-time finish for the Illini. Later on, it's going to be Matthew Meyer with the crowd-raising three, and Illinois hangs on to win 75-66. That will do it for 5 on your sideline tonight. I am Corey Miller. Have a great night, St. Louis.
Five on Your Sideline was sponsored by Sideline Stricker Nobi John Deere.